Okay, so we have put the soil into this. As you can see, I did not have enough soil, so I'm gonna have to mix some more. This is a potting mix that I have started making just because I found it to be cheaper. I use this seed starting mix. I mix it with some of this soil. Nature's Care organic and natural potting mix. And then I put some perlite in there and a little bit of fertilizer, seed and feed. So anyway, I put all of that and I mix it in this big container, and then I just use it for filling my containers and potting all my seeds. So I'm going to mix this up. You have to use, it has directions on this, 4.5 quarts of water, and then within 2 minutes it will expand, and it makes 8 quarts of this seed starting mix. And then it's very fibrous. It's like coconut fiber, so I always mix it with some other kinds of soil and stuff too. I use the perlite to keep it from clumping up too much. Not that it matters, because that stuff is pretty good at that too, but anyway, and to help with drainage. So far it's been working well, so I'm gonna go ahead and make up some more, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, so I usually add warm water to this too, but just use regular water today. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna add the whole gallon, and then we'll decide if we need to add more water to it. Can you see it? How big it's getting? Yeah, so it soaks up the water and it expands very quickly. And it does it really, really fast whenever it's warm water too. But the cold water is working pretty nicely, so it's good. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna get. So you can see that it's still dry in the middle. So I just mix it around a little bit until it is all the water soaked up, and it will soak up all of the water that's in here. So right now it kind of looks like things I used to play in when I was a kid, which is exciting too. All right, so that's that step. All right, so we have this. You can see it's pretty well mixed up. I'm going to try not to touch the camera too much now that my hands are all messy. So anyway, you can kind of see the texture of that. I always feel around, see if there are any dry clumps left. There will always be wetter stuff at the bottom, so I flip it over. Just like mixing a cake mix. So, you always know that there's stuff that's going to be left down at the bottom. You got to get down in the corners and make sure that it's all mixed in. So I just make sure everything is all mixed in. Then I add this potting mix, organic natural potting mix, and you can see it has perlite in it also, which is why I don't need to add too much perlite to what I'm doing here. And you can see it has some dry clumps in it. Now, I could go ahead and add water to this, but I'm going to wait a second, because if I add water to this because this is dry, then the stuff that's on the bottom can become too moist. So first, I'll mix it all up. I'll break up any big clumps, make sure that they are able to get enough moisture to them if I add water. Alright, so I'll add all of this, mix it up. And I want it to be light and not stick together too much. The big problem, if you watched one of the other videos that I shared from one of my favorite YouTubers, they talked about, sorry, I was trying to think of the name of her channel. That's so sad. That's old age. I'll put it in. All right. Anyway, so she talked about the reasons why you would use different types of soil or starting mix, and you know which one you should choose. And so one of the things that she said is the reason why you wouldn't want to use seed starting mix for everything is because while it's great for the seeds and those little tiny roots to get through, it lacks a lot of nutrients. And so what I'm doing is kind of making in my head anyway, I don't know if this will work. Again, I have no clue what I'm doing. But I am trying to make something that has more nutrients, but those same kind of qualities that we like about seed starting mix, so that it can sustain them a little bit longer. So that's my goal here. This looks pretty good, and actually, you can kind of see it will hold its shape a little bit if I bunch it up. So it has a pretty decent amount of moisture in it. I feel like if I add any more water to it for storing, it may be too much. So I'm gonna not add any more right now, because the last time I did this, I wasn't sure if my container would hold the moisture well, but it did. It did a really good job. So I'm not afraid that it's going to dry out before I want to use it, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to add perlite today either, because I feel like my mix there is pretty good also. I am going to add some of that shake and feed, so I'll get that. Alright, so this is just Miracle Grow Shake and Feed. You can see I got it at the dollar store for $5. It's just all-purpose plant food. The directions say to add, let's see, sorry, I read it once and I never used it again. Alright, let's see. Apply dry. Do not pre-mix with water. Do not apply to wet foliage or pile against plant stem. Shake evenly onto the soil, and use the illustrations below as a guide. So anyway, it doesn't really say. I thought that there was a direction for, you know, adding a certain amount to, but I guess not. So anyway, I just sprinkle it in here. And then mix it all in. So I usually have my gloves on. I probably should have my gloves on. I'll just wash my hands right after. Anyway, so I mix it in so that is then part of my seed starting recipe. All right, so that's it. And you can kind of see those little blue pieces in there. That goes with that shake and feed. Just gives it a little bit of extra nutritional stuff for the seeds as I start them. All right, so now I'm going to finish using this to fill the rest of my bucket. I'll go ahead and get that and do that while we're here. Put this on top. And then this bucket will be ready for my little seedlings. So that's it. I will probably, after I put the seeds in, I probably will cut off this excess. Since I switched to the cheaper fabric, I went ahead and just cut a big piece, tucked it down all in around everything, and then I'll just cut the extra away. I don't have to be really precise because I'm not wasting a ton of stuff. So, all right, that's it. See you guys later. Bye.